Today, it's all about that ovulation phase. If you're just joining me on the monthly cycle series, my name is Laura Sherrill and I'm a women's health and wellness strategist, and we are flowing through the month and going through the 4 phases of a woman's monthly cycle. And so if you haven't checked the last video of your follicular phase, make sure to watch that because it will kind of keep you up to speed on what's going to go on in this video. So your ovulation phase, like what is this? Like when we hear about it, like just what does this mean? And so it's the phase right after your follicular phase. And so it lasts 3 to 5 days, and it is like legit the most magical time of a woman's month, or one of them. I like to think that they're all magical. But it is 2 phases after your menstrual phase. So you can think menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and it's the time of the month that a woman can get pregnant. So if you are trying to have a baby, now's the time to be able to do it. And you can get pregnant within that 3 to 5 day period. So if you ever hear women talking of like, oh, I'm ovulating, like, honey, let's go, this is exactly what they're talking about. But there's a few other things about your ovulation phase that you might want to know. So one is you have that ovi glow. So it is those rosy cheeks that come up when a woman is ovulating. So it's a telltale sign when you're ovulating is to have those rosy cheeks, and it's a sign of fertility. So you can totally skip the blush this week, and it's also one of the reasons why like older women will want to be wearing blush, because it kind of gives that rosy cheek that we all find as alluring and attractive. But that's because like that's what young women naturally have, and we all want that, right? Because it's an attractive quality, and it just goes into the reason why women are made, like our bodies, which is to reproduce. So you ever see this woman, you know, if a woman's pregnant, she has that rosy glow, that's because she's so fertile. Like think about it, she's carrying a baby. So your ovulation time is the time of the month where you also have the most energy. I mean, we're talking sky high, through the roof. Like you're not going to need caffeine here. Your energy is like buzzing, right? Like you have so much extra energy. So with that extra energy, you can totally go balls to the wall with your workouts. So this is the best time to do your endurance workouts. This is the best time to get the HIIT workouts. It's the best time to do like any sort of like long, hard training, strength training that you've been trying to get to. It's the best time to go to those spin classes. And I always try to balance things out because your energy can be so high. So I always try to like find ways to channel that energy, because you can just be like an Energizer bunny just running around and doing all the things. So you have to make sure to just like calm and like, you know, bring it back down. So just going for a walk, doing some yoga to recenter yourself can really help during this time. So your ovulation, as magical as it is, it's also a time when a lot of women actually experience some symptoms that can carry them through until when they have their period. So if your body is higher in estrogen, so if you're estrogen dominant, where your estrogen levels are ruling your body and not balancing out enough with all of your other hormones, it's called estrogen dominance. And so some women may experience some bloat during this time, which comes up in the hips, thighs, and butt area. So that's a telltale sign of high estrogen. And you might notice some acne breakouts along your jawline. Your mood might not be the way that you want, and so this is estrogen just being a bit high. So it's always good to note this, because you want to make sure that everything is in balance so that your mood, you know, that bloat doesn't come up, and it just really want you to live in that realm of where your body wants to be. So if you experience any of these symptoms, just check in and ask yourself like, hey, is my body metabolizing estrogen well? So mine certainly has been in the realm where that was a time of the month where I actually had a really difficult time. And so I actually refrained from alcohol during my ovulation phase, because alcohol can increase estrogen. And I stay away from dairy, I stay away from soy. So those are all substances that can increase estrogen in a female's body. And if you're having a harder time metabolizing it anyway, all of those things are going to kind of get in the way of your body effectively bringing it out of your system and not essentially getting recycled within your body, which is where that bloat comes in. Like it has nowhere else to go. So just fun fact about how to be able to, you know, bring your estrogen down and just make sure that it is in balance, and just how to pinpoint that and how to figure that out. So for food, the best foods to be eating during your ovulation phase is anything that can literally kind of help your hormones be flowing along so that you then have a happier period and monthly cycle as you move forward. So waking up in the morning and having hot water with lemon can really help cleanse your liver to be able to process extra hormones out. Flaxseed is great to add to smoothies or even just like a glass of water to be able to drink that and kind of, bind with excess hormones to be able to pull them out. So that's a little trick. And then on my website, I have a pizza crust. It's cauliflower and mung bean pizza crust. And so cauliflower and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, those all help bind to extra estrogen. So if you have any issues with that, this is the best time to be able to eating that. And mung beans are like this internal Swiffer sweeper to be able to like literally just cleanse your system. So, if you're having any sort of hormonal issues, try and find ways to cleanse your system. And so you still want to focus on lighter foods and lighter grains. So lighter grains can be like quinoa. You can do a little bit of corn. So, is an excuse to go to Mexican and have like some, fish tacos or a few tortilla chips and guacamole. Like that's just like a great reason to be able to indulge a little bit. So our body wants things that are light and fresh. And so that will just help your body feel so good as you have all of this high energy. So I like to think of this phase as like the summer phase. So think of how you are in the summer where you have a lot of high energy, you just want to be outside, you just want to be around people, and like light, fresh fruits and vegetables make you feel really good. It's also your most social time of the month. So because your energy is so high, this is when you're going to have more of that outgoing, extroverted energy. And so we were designed this way because if the more you were out and about, the more likely you are to then attract a mate to be able to then reproduce. So if you're single, like this is the time to be able to just like get out there and start mingling and attract that mate. And if you've got those rosy cheeks, they are going to be attracted to you like a moth on a flame. Like, girl, now's the time to be able to get out there. And if you are dating, make sure to wear red. So more men are going to notice you when you're wearing red in your ovulation phase. So think of like a bamboo who has the red butt. Like it's just an alluring, attractive quality to then attract that potential mate. So you can totally use this to your advantage in your lifestyle and be able to get what you want, right? Like we all want to, have a partner and be in a loving relationship if that feels good to you. And it's just so fascinating of how you can use your body to really migrate and maneuver as you start flowing. So this is the time to just get out there, be outgoing, make more meetings for work, any sort of like pitches or communication things that you need to have in work or your personal life. This is the best time to do it. So your communication is also at its peak. So whatever you then want to say is going to come out in the way in which you intend it to be, where we might not always have that at other parts of the month where our brain just essentially like can't form words. It happens to me, particularly during your menstrual phase. But in your ovulation phase, like this is the best time to ask for a raise. It's the best time to secure a new client at work, and your communication skills are just going to be so high because you're just be able to fire off like anything that you want to say. So if you have a hard conversation that you want to have it now because you're not going to be as emotional as you might be in 2 weeks when you have your period or as it's starting to come forward. So estrogen remains high, and it's almost like your yes dear hormone. So you're going to be way more easygoing, go with the flow, and just, being able to effortlessly maneuver in and out of situations that might be harder at other parts of the month. So definitely take this time to just like get out there, crush your workouts, eat light and fresh foods, and you'll just keep sporting that ovulation glow, and it's just such an exciting time. So your ovulation phase is a 3 to 5 day period after your follicular phase, and it's the time of the month where you can get pregnant. And if you want more tips on how to cycle sync your life, you can download my free guide with the link that is in this description for this video. And it's just filled with all of the monthly phases, the top food and tips and exercise and lifestyle things that you can incorporate into your life, as well as a journal book to be able to really just flow and get to know your thought patterns, because our brain is also shifting throughout the month as well. So thank you for joining me today, learning all about your ovulation phase. My name is Laura Sherrill, and you can also get more tips on my blog at laurasherrill.com. And I will talk with you next week when we're talking about your luteal phase. Bye, lady.